Oh, Sony, 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 Sony. Oh, what a piece of shit. I just want to talk about Sony, to be quite honest with you. I saw the trailer for the PS5 Pro plenty of times. And when I saw the price tag on it, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. Not that long ago, I was in college, right? I even mentioned to my English teacher that ever since COVID happened, these motherfuckers are acting like COVID never happened. And she gave this big, huge explanation. But at the end of the day, it didn't fucking matter. Because apparently, if she's not seeing what I'm seeing, that's fine. But plenty of us that are gamers, movie-going audiences, and people that have been watching this shit, have been a part of this shit since they were in diapers, they are literally seeing this shit and they're like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. And then you're going to have these other motherfuckers saying that, oh, why is everyone not working? Why is everyone dropping off their jobs? Because everyone's sick of it, man. You don't realize that. You don't realize what the world we're living in right now. The world is changing. The world is changing to the point that no one doesn't want to work for these companies. People want to make their own products. I'm making my own product. It might be an RPG Maker Fez on my 3DS, but at least I'm making a game. I've even said this before countless on this channel. Even if my game never gets released, even if I never remaster my game so it can actually get released, I'm still following my dream as being a video game designer. At least I can make my own games on a tool engine that I can play for the rest of my fucking life. Can you do that? Can you do that? Because I recommend anybody that's a gamer to get RPG Maker and just go to town and figure that shit out. And to be quite honest, and that's it. You don't have to get RPG Maker. I just mentioned RPG Maker because it's a fast way to grab something and make your own game. You can grab you can grab other two engines and work on that shit. Because all these companies are not working anymore, man. I even saw a video saying that the guy literally said that, what's the point of playing these games? Go back and play your old games. And I'm over here like, yeah, I've been saying that forever. I put that video in the description box, and I think I will share it on my community page too, just in case. But Sony with the PS5 Pro, are you serious? Sony? Are you serious? Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, guess what? Guess what? Automatically, there's going to be a day when you have no choice but to put all your games in one system to share from each other. I don't give a fuck if you deny it. I don't care if you think that's stupid. I don't care if you think that's bad for business. It's already happening right now when people can literally download games on their phone. My phone's not here, it's charging. Actually, no, it's right here. They can literally download games on their phone or on their laptop. And they be good forever. Some people just don't, some people, like, some people might not want to make a game, but do want to play the old games. There was my friend was looking at clips of the Mickey Mouse games that came out on Super Nintendo. Then they got remastered for the Game Boy Advance, Mickey Mouse and Minnie and stuff like that. Those games, Mickey Mouse and Donald and stuff like that. Those games, if you guys know what I'm talking about, when you can switch costumes and all that stuff, and all, it looks so cool. It looks so freaking awesome. So my friend told me, does Nintendo have that in their online shit? And I'm over here like, no. They don't have it, man. They don't have it. See, this is something that Nintendo could have took a great opportunity to. See, this is why I always had a complaint with every of these fucking video game companies. All your games that came out for your system, why is it so hard for you to literally ask Disney, hey, can I relicense this? Or ask Capcom or in Disney, hey, can you guys relicense this so we can actually put it on our platform and stuff like that? And don't tell me they will never do that bullshit, because there's a remaster of Aladdin and Lion King for the Switch, and I think it's on the PlayStations and Xbox. So don't fuck with me when it comes to this shit. Okay? I don't know why Lion King had to be remastered, to be quiet. I can understand Aladdin, but Lion King? That game was fucking made to be frustrating. They did it on purpose just to extend longer of the gameplay, which is stupid. They knew the game was short, so they decided to do stupid fucking puzzles for you to make the game go longer than it needed to be. And I haven't even played it, but I've seen clips of it over the years, and I'm over here like, yeah, it sounds like the Lion King video game for the Super Nintendo is shit. I'd rather play the Aladdin game. I don't care if it's from Sega or the Nintendo system. I'd rather play that game. I'd rather play the Pinocchio game. I'd rather play, dare I say it, Hong Kong 97 than fucking that shit. Because at least in Hong Kong 97, I can get some entertainment value on it. I'd rather play freaking Hook on the NES and the Game Boy. And you know I reviewed that game on here, and it's completely trash. But at least I can rip it apart, and you guys can have fun with it. When it comes to the game that I fucking mentioned, I can't rip that shit apart. There's a difference when you can rip part of a game that it's bad, yes, but at least there's something for you to rip on. When there's a game that's so bad that there's nothing to rip on, that's literally a dead game. That's a dead game on arrival. That's a dead game. Because even a bad game has something for people to enjoy, to people to go back to maybe, or to be like, you know what, let me give it another chance, or let me see for this and that. Maybe I will actually embrace it a little bit more, you know? But so many of these other companies don't want to make games like that. I'd love to use this as an example. I never played the game. I never played the series. I think I played the first one, Devil May Cry. I think I played Devil May Cry 1, and that was it. But Devil May Cry 5, that's on the PlayStation right now, the new, I guess, on PS5 and PS4, I've seen my friend play that game. And I'm over here like, wow, it looks like the people that made this game was literally wanting to make a game like the PS2 and PS1 era. God forbid we actually have that. In that robot game that's on the fucking PlayStation 5 platform, every time I saw that, to me, that's a spiritual successor to Little Big Planet in a way. Robot something, they're little tiny robots that, they look really adorable and cute. And yet, I'm looking at gameplays of that, and I'm over here like, so Sony, you can literally make a PS2 game and a PS1 game nowadays with high-end graphics, and you can do it. It has a chibi character or even a cartoon character like Spyro or Crash. You can still do that. But yet you refuse to fucking do it. That's why your PlayStation 5 is not selling. And if it is selling, guess what? There's no games for it. And stop telling me that there is games for it. There isn't. I'm talking about games on the PS5, not games from the PS4, PS2, PS1, and PS3. I'm not talking about that shit. Oh, but there's some games on the PS5. Yes, some. Well, there's tons of libraries from the PS1, 2, 3, and 4. You fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I want you to go online right fucking now, because you're a fucking simp, because you don't fucking research. Go fucking goddamn research and find out how many games are on the PS5. They're all PS5 games. Not PS3, not PS2 or PS1 games. Get that fucking straight in your fucking goddamn head, motherfuckers. Because all of you guys, there's some people out here that be like, oh, there's so many games on the PS5. No, there isn't. The games that you're talking about that's on the PS5 are from other generations before the PS5. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I mentioned that this company thinks that, oh, this company, Sony literally thinks that the next generation of console is around the corner. Because they thought that since the PS5 didn't sell, or some of them think that since the PS5 didn't sell, then people are ready for the next generation. I'm not saying that everyone in Sony company thinks that way, but some of them do. And I'm over here like, the fuck's wrong with you? And those are the top heads. They be like, let's make a PSX. And I'm over here like, why? There's rumors. I don't know if this is 100% true, but there's rumors that the PlayStation 6 is going to be $1,000. It's going to be cloud gaming and no physical copies. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I guarantee you right now, Sony, you just killed the PlayStation. You just killed it. Technically, you killed it with the PS5. No one doesn't want the PS5. People are more playing the PS4 more than ever before. I don't give a fuck what no one says. I remember saying this. People are playing the PS4, and people are like, "Oh, we wait and see." And now, where are you? For those people that told me to wait and see, where are you? You guys are never commenting on my fucking videos. Because you know it's the truth. And now you're eating your shit. Does it taste good, motherfucker? Do you love eating that chicken shit? I hope you do. Piece of shit. No, because you're a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. You're the reason why gaming is the way it is. So don't tell me, oh no, I'm not a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You're the reason why me and my friend and so many other people cannot play good games anymore. The last good game that I've seen my friend fucking played is Elden Ring and freaking what's it called? Devil May Cry. The other stuff he's playing is from either other systems or other stuff that, he likes. And that's fine too. You like what you like. I like what I like. And some people hate what I like. So much so, some people told me to never play those shits. Because they hate it. And I could understand their perspective. But if I'm having fun with it, and I can see the value in it, except for Kingdom Hearts 3. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. I wonder what was that, huh? But, like, if you can value a game, like we did when we were a child, and this is not about, oh, back in my day. I'm 31 years old. I was born in the 90s. 1993 to be exact. So I saw great shit from the 80s and bad shit from the 80s, but I also saw great shit from the 90s and bad shit from the 90s. I basically grew up with two eras. I even saw some of the 60s. 60s and 70s movies. Because my grandparents. Without my grandparents, I wouldn't know about Godzilla. I wouldn't even known about Batman. My grandmother, Godzilla. My grandfather, Batman. I would have never known those type of characters without them. And they're from the 40s. They were born in the 40s. They're 40s babies. And yes, they're still alive and kicking. Thank goodness. I always give my spiritual energy to them and everything like that. I always have. Alright. Plus, I already know what's happening to this planet. This planet is evolving. And if you're not part of nature, you're not going to evolve either. But that's a side note. People want to get offended about that. No, that's science, bitch. That's science. How can you literally complain about science when you yourself want to speak science, but then when you get other stuff about science, especially spiritual science, you want to back off and say, oh, that's not real. Because you don't believe in the spiritual world. You don't believe in the afterlife. You literally do not believe that if you die, it's just this. Complete darkness. That's what it is. When you die, it's completely this. Just darkness. That's all you see. Like these wicked beings when they die. Like these pedophiles when they die. That's what you want to see. You want to see what these pedophiles see when you die. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations for having that mindset. Congratulations. No, congratulations. What do you think these pedophiles and all these motherfuckers that eat kids and murder fucking innocent people, what do you think they're going to go through? Especially from the people that have been slaughtering color people for generations to come. For generations before, basically. And made America from the blood of Afro people. You don't think that's karma? You don't think America is not getting that karma? It's getting it right now. Stop acting like America will never get this fucking karma because, just because we slaughtered a whole bunch of colored people and took their land doesn't mean we're going to get their karma. You're stupid as fuck. You're so fucking stupid. You're fucking retarded. And at that point, go to the corner with those motherfuckers. Because I guarantee you, you're going to look the same to me in my eyes. Seriously. You should, like, literally, no one should not be that way. But if you are going to be that way, guess what? Head where they're going, to the slaughterhouse. Because that's where they're going. That's their final destination. And they want to take you there with you. Because they want food. They have no food. What happens when an animal doesn't have food? They act crazy. And they act anything that's around you will be food. I hope you guys know what's happening to this planet. And the reason I mention this is because people in these companies like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, they are acting this way right now. Why do you think they're trying to grab everything possible for money? It's the same thing with WWE. They're trying to make much money as possible to get the fuck out of their situation. But guess what? There's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. Everything will fall. Everything will fall, including the Statue of Liberty. It will fall. It will fall. It will fall. I don't give a fuck if you guys say that, that's supposed to be the symbol of freedom and shit like that. Not knowing that that's a fucking man and not a woman. You think the Statue of Liberty is a woman? No, it's actually a man. It's a man. It's a man, bro. The Statue of Liberty is a man. It's not a woman. The hell's wrong with you? It's a fucking tranny. Don't fuck with me. Anyone that has two brain cells that are moving in the same direction can see that shit. If you can't see that, then, oh man, they did a really good job to you of blinding the fuck out of you. They did a really good job of literally beating you to the bloody pulp when you with your ancestors, and you look at them like, yes, master. I love you, master. Oh, yes, the white master. Oh, yes, the white bitches. Even white people will tell you this shit. And then you will agree with them. But when a brother or sister tells you it, you're going to say that they're crazy. That's karma right there. That is karma. That is karma. Don't think that's not karma. That's karma. It's the same karma that you see with these freaking video game companies. They're going to get their karma. They're going to get their karma where you think it's not going to happen to them or not. I don't give a fuck. This is not my fucking opinion, motherfucker. I hope you know that. This is not my opinion. This is facts and true. And anyone that can see through this shit knows the writing on the wall. If you can't see the writing on the wall, guess what? You're going to be freaking the fuck out. When the power goes out, you're going to be fucking the freak out when someone chops your fucking cat and dog off right in front of you. I don't give a fuck if you believe they're eating cats or dogs or not. In their fucking country, they did. So what makes you think if they come in here, they're not going to do the same shit? You're a fucking idiot if you don't think that's not going to be the case. You're a fucking idiot. That never crossed your mind? If that never crossed your mind, you're a dangerous individual and you should never be right next to your friends or family. Lock yourself up in a fucking goddamn cage in a pit where you fucking belong and never get out. I hope you fucking rot in there. Because you don't deserve to be part of society, in my opinion. You don't. You don't deserve to be part of society. How can you not think that in your brain? If you never thought that in your brain, you don't deserve to be part of society. That's it. Bare and plain and simple. You don't deserve to be right next to a fucking child. You don't deserve to have a fucking child. Because you're passing that on to a child. You're just passing on more stupidity, stupidity, stupidity. We don't need stupid people. We need warriors. We need smart people. To look at all of this shit that these video game companies are doing, and they're like, we're done. We're done. Going back, even white people are literally doing this. They're literally like, we're done. We're done. We're done. If they're done, we're done. Because these white people understand that if the color people say no, they will say no too. Have you noticed that? But there's some people out here that would never notice that because they have their head up their ass so much that they think they're right all the time. They'll be like, that's not true, because what I'm saying, it goes. Because I did my research from the lies that these people told me. Please vote. These people are ridiculous, man. These people are ridiculous. And some of these people work in these fucking video game companies. I hope you know that. Who does the person that made the Mario movie, I mean the Mario game, who does he vote for? Is it going to vote for Trump or Biden? Because in my opinion, it doesn't you shouldn't vote for anybody. You should vote for yourself and the planet herself. But I guess that's too much, right? But people are going to be stupid and be like, I'll vote for Jesus. Really? You're going to vote for that motherfucker? You're going to vote for that motherfucker when he hasn't done anything for you. And you're going to think he did, but it wasn't. It was your higher self. You pathetic, egotistical fuck. But that's another story for another day. Alright? The main story here is that these video game companies need to fucking stop at what they're doing. Obviously, they're probably not going to stop. But guess what? When they don't stop, we're just going to keep going. I remember seeing a picture of someone saying that, hey, Nintendo is taking all these mods and stuff like that, and all these game mods and stuff like that, and then under it, it says that we're just going to keep pushing it and keep going. Just because you took that out, we're going to put it even more further. We're going to make it even worse for you, Nintendo. I've said this before and I said it again, and I'm so glad people are listening. I'm not saying they're watching my videos, but it's coming to the point for some people to be like, yeah, you know what, Nintendo? You know what, Sony and all that? If you're going to take out my game because you think that it ruins your characters and shit like that, guess what? I'm going to push it even more, and so will other people, to the point that you can't fucking do that shit. I want these people to drive these companies crazy. I want Nintendo to go crazy to the point that they can't fucking shut this off. That they become cuckoo in the process and they fuck up their own fucking shit. Like their own fucking games. Wouldn't that be great? Guess what? That is happening right now. That is happening right now. You think Nintendo's not looking at all of these mod games and they're not going a little bit cuckoo with it? Of course they are. They're looking at money that they should have fucking made. They're looking at money and they're literally telling themselves, we could have did that. Shut that shit down. But yet, do they do it in their games? Do they shut that down and they be like, yes, let's use that in our game? No, they don't. They just shut it down. Why? Because they hate creativity. And there's no creativity in the fucking Zelda games or Mario games. Except for the new Zelda game that you play as Zelda. I haven't played that yet, but I've seen clips of it and all that, and it looks phenomenal. It does. It looks phenomenal. That is just a great example right there. When I saw the new Legend of Zelda game, and you get to play as Zelda, I'm over here like, so you finally want to listen to the fan base? I've been asking for a standalone Zelda game to play as Zelda for years. And now you fucking do it? When literally when your world is about to end? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get right with nature. Connect with nature. And start researching so many shit about the American history. Because the American history that they taught you in school is completely bullshit. The American history is filled with genocide, raped, killed, slaughtered, and fucking renamed everything to European names instead of what we call Afro-Hispanic and black people names. All of these streets used to have our names, guys. And then when they slaughtered us and killed us, they replaced it with their names. So we won't figure out, oh, wait. Yo, man, that's a brother's name. Holy shit. And this is not even an enlightenment video, man. I just have to discuss this because this is bullshit. This goes everything all around. You think this doesn't trickle on the gaming industry? You don't think this doesn't trickle on any other video, on any other company like McDonald's and Disney? You're stupid. You're stupid. Not that long ago, the COO of Disney had to fucking leave. And then he came back, yes, but then he had to leave. Why? Why he had to leave? Why he had to leave? He had to leave because shit was going down and they told him to fucking leave. Get a bunker, get your shit, get your things, and leave. And that's what he did. He got everything prepared, so then he came back. Okay? All of these fucking COOs left because they were told by the people that they kissed their ass to get that money, to get the high position. They were told to get your shit ready and get the fuck out and tell your families. Because this is over. We're about to die, basically. This is the shit that's happening to the planet. This is what's happening to all of these companies, okay? All these video game companies don't give a shit anymore. And it's our job to literally make this shit right for gaming. Make some good products. Alright? Even if it doesn't get out there, at least make something. Seriously. And make a YouTube video about it. I guarantee you, I fucking guarantee you, people will watch that shit and be like, I want to fucking play that shit. Where can I play that? And if they find out they can't play it, you know how the internet is. If they find out they can't play it, they're gonna find a fucking way how to play it. Okay? It's always been that way. Every time there was a game out there that I'm like, damn, I would never play that game. I always found a way. When there's a will, there is a way. Alright? If my friend is watching this, yo, I think we should say that meme. That is not the way. If you guys watch what is it? Black Panther and stuff like that. I love both of the Black Panther movies. Wakanda Forever and Black Panther. I love both of those movies. I would never understand and understand the hate for both of those movies. Either two things. Either you're racist or you don't get it. It can't be in between. You're either racist or you don't get it. If you don't get it, that's fine. That's fine. Because a lot of stuff can go over your head. I can understand that, you know. That's why I don't argue with people if it goes over their head. Hey, a whole bunch of shit goes over my head sometimes, you know. But I'm just talking to the people that if they see it, but they still talk shit about it, and they talk to those, and they tell the people that should see it to not see it, and then goes over their heads. That is when I have a problem with those type of people. Not the people that it goes over their heads, but the people that tell people, oh, just let it go over your head. No. I hate that shit. Because at that point, the people that you told them to do that to, they're not even going to question, wait a minute, why you told me that? Nowadays, we will question that shit. But back in the day, we'd be like, yeah, all right. But then over the years, we find out that this motherfucker was lying to me. Oh, she's fucking lying to me. This is why sometimes we need to do our own research, and this is why sometimes we need to have our own experience of researching, but also having an experience of what we're going through with this gaming stuff. Okay? If you're new to video games, you don't know how Spyro and Crash were back in the 90s. You don't know how epic Final Fantasy VII was, or 8 or 9 when it came out. I grew up in the 90s. I didn't grow up in the 80s. But I did grow up a lot with the 80s video games, like Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, the Super Nintendo era, because, again, I grew up with the Super Nintendo era. I never owned it, but I knew people that did own it, so I grew up with it, you know? Which was great, man. It was a great time to be a gamer, because you learned all of this new stuff about gaming, especially when you were young. When you were young, you didn't know anything about gaming, you know? But you told yourself, I would like to learn. I would like to know the history about gaming. And I wanted to know the history about gaming too. And it's so fascinating. The history of gaming is so fascinating, and it's so beautiful at the same time. It is. It's so beautiful. Okay? A lot of people look at the video game industry or the video game history and take advantage of it. That's why I argue with people that talk shit about turn-based RPGs. You have no fucking idea the history of turn-based RPGs, motherfucker. You would never play Ultima. You would never play the original Dragon Quest. You would never play the original Final Fantasy. You would never play Dungeons and Dragons. You would never play Wizardry. You would never play any of these games. Not to say I played all of them, but at least I know you would never played them. Why? Because you're looking at a system and you're going to think it's outdated. Still to this day, I'm seeing videos. I don't watch them. But there's videos that pop up in my feed sometimes. They'll be like, yeah, turn-based is dead. So we should go to action RPG. Because turn-based was just there to symbolize action, but since it's outdated, we should take it out. That is a whole other genre that you told people that should be dead. For example, should horror movies be dead? Should action movies be dead? Should romantic movies be dead? Just because I don't care about romantic movies, for example. I can watch an action movie and have a romance in it, but I'm not going to watch a romance movie, you know? But am I going around here saying that shut that shit off? No. There's so many males and females that love that shit. You know? And look, like I said, I'm not a big fan of those movies, but if there's lovey-dovey stuff in these action movies or some other movies like Tron, I get into it. I get sucked into it. Because they're good. They're not bad or just like, oh, like the High School Musical type of thing. Like, where they, won't they? It's like, ugh. We know that they will, so fucking do it already. Let's just have a scene of them fucking already. Please. Get this over with already. Oh, man. Seriously, man. That's just me sometimes. Other times, I do like when a character gets with another character. I love that progression. Not to say I don't like that progression. You know, I always when you could do a romance progression really well, I'm going to love you forever. Because that shit's great. But if you do it shit, then why should I care about it? You know? Now, if you do it decently in some highlights, then, you know, I'll be open to it, obviously. I'll be like, you know what, this is pretty good. Some flaws, but I like it. I like their chemistry, but not every relationship is going to be great. We all know that. And that's what makes it more real and authentic, and that's why we love it so much, you know? It's almost going back to the whole Harley Quinn and Joker shit. Remember when the first Suicide Squad movie came from Jared Leto? Everyone was infatuated with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I cannot blame them because that was the first live action Harley Quinn, and I knew I knew from day one that shit was going to be successful. She was going to overshadow freaking Jared Leto's Joker, and she did. She did. She overshadowed him. Still to this day, I cannot think of Harley Quinn without Margot Robbie or the animated series of the Batman series. You know, those are the only two things that I can think about. You know, I could think about the Gotham version of Echo, which will always have a special place in my heart. Echo from Gotham, the Gotham series, Echo. Oh. Waifu up the ass. Seriously, let's just say that. And I love that she's called Echo because in this TV series of Gotham, spoiler, she dies, but since she's called Echo and she's a Harley Quinn, she's gonna echo around until eventually something clicks. You know, it's almost like it's kind of like what the Gotham series did when they said, "Oh, there wasn't a real Joker," and we over here like, The fuck you talking about? The fuck's wrong with you? But then they did it in a way that were like, huh, we thought we got you, huh? I'm like, you did, but at the same time, you still kind of pissed people off, but I can understand why you did this and kept that actor that played the other Joker because he was so good at it. Who else you going to have? Oh, they're twins now. Okay, cool. At least you found a way how to do that loophole, you know? I didn't care, you know? I didn't care that the Joker had twins and shit like that. That's fucking crazy. Imagine two Jokers running around with two different personalities. One that's more methodical, more putting the pieces together, and the other one that's just chaos and wants to destroy everything. Love both versions. I always love both versions of those, you know? So, I know I got into a changer. I know I'm talking about with the PlayStation stuff and everything like that. But it's so true, though. The reason I talk about stuff like this is because the passion that I have for some of these projects and the passion that I have sometimes with my own projects. For kind of like, for example, when I look at these video games, these modern video games, some of them don't give me the passion as it used to. Sometimes I can read the dialogue of what the characters are doing, and some of them might be like, okay, cool, and all that. But overall, is it going to make me be like, yeah? And it's funny too. I'm making my own game on RPG Maker Fez, and I have a script on my laptop, and I'm looking at the script because originally I wasn't even going to write a script, so it probably was going to be bad anyways in my game. And I was looking at the dialogue of how it was before I did write the script, and I was like, oh god, no, we need a script. Even if it's short, we need a script, you know? And when I'm looking at the script, I'm over here like, this is actually good. I don't want to toot my own horn, but you know when you write something and you're looking at it and you're like, this is actually pretty good. I don't care if no one sees it. This is actually good. I like it. If I like it, then I'm going to use it. You know? That's just me. It's like with everything. It's like that in gaming. Look, these video game companies don't want to hear game developers saying that I want to make a game that I want to make. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. Because guess what? Look, when a video game developer says that, that tells them that something needs to change and something needs to move forward. And guess what? They don't want to move forward. These video game companies, they are comfortable where they're at because they're making so much money. And when you rock the boat to change the algorithm of the gaming industry, guess what? You become the bad guy. You become the villain. You become Thanos. It's fucked up, but sometimes it needs to be done. It does. Look, if we get some type of executive that Thanos is everything in the gaming industry that needs to be Thanos, I will praise that motherfucker to the moon. To the point, I don't give a fuck if he is corrupt. I will praise him to the moon, to the point that I'm like, at least you fucking fix something that needs to be fucking fixed. You know? Seriously. And I've said this before and I said it again. I will always say that. That's the thing. Every time I make these gaming videos, I keep repeating sometimes almost the same thing. And it's this. When the gaming industry is gone, and it is going to be gone, guess who's going to take it over? The indie people. The indie devs. The indie gaming people. And people like myself and other people that just want to bring their ideas out there to life. Even if look, I'm saying this right now. My ideas, I don't have to put them in a video game. I could make a comic book. I could make it into a novel. I can literally make a YouTube video about it. I can literally make stick figures on a paper and tell you the whole story on it on YouTube. And that's it. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, it would be cool if I can draw an art style instead of stick figures to get more of the point across, but at least I have a vision, at least I'm pushing that vision, and I'm pushing a story that people will be like, yo, I don't give a fuck if this is stick figures. I'm intrigued with the fucking story. How am I crying for a stick figure, for example? You know how we play these old video games and we cry over a fucking sprite on the screen? A sprite on the screen we cry. But yet nowadays, a full-fledged character that looks real, we don't cry for them at all. We literally are like, you fucking deserve it. Fuck you, Sony. Fuck you, Nintendo. Fuck you, Microsoft. But back then, man, back then when those graphics were not as appealing to some people, it was appealing to me because I grew up with that shit. Still to this day, I like it. I know some people don't like to look at the I know some people don't like to look at Final Fantasy VII graphics and they'd be like, ugh, the Lego graphics. But I love those graphics. I'd rather take those graphics than the graphics we have now with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And someone's going to be like, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. Because the developers saw that as you buying the game instead of the story and the gameplay. You see? That is why I loved about gaming back in the day. Alright? They had to sell the product not because of the graphics, because of the fucking story, gameplay, and sometimes the music, man. The music does everything, wonders for a game. Some people, even me and my friend have discussed that who really made this game. I mean, who really made this movie? Because we were watching a movie and we were hearing the track and we were hearing like, the track is the soul of a movie. So who really made the movie? Yeah, you have the writer and the director, but without the sound composer, without the soundtrack, there is no soul. There is no movie. There is no game. So when you look at these songs from these video games, you literally like, no, you created this game the way it is. That's why I love the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack. That's why I love the Final Fantasy soundtrack. All of these games have great soundtracks, man. Even some of the games from PS1 era have great soundtracks, like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Donkey Kong 64. All great soundtracks. All of them great soundtracks. You know why? Because they had to be consistent of like, well, we don't have that much of a good graphics, but they're fine for what they offer, the technology that we have, but we need to push a little bit more. Let's push more of the gameplay. Let's push more of the story, or let's push more of the music. Because sometimes, look, I played games before that the story sucks and the gameplay sucks, but the music hooks me in to the point that I'm like, I want to buy the soundtrack. I want to beat this game. Yeah, it doesn't do that good of gameplay or story mode, but guess what? The soundtrack is fucking epic. And sometimes that does a lot for some people. Other times, you might not get a good soundtrack or a good story, but you might get awesome gameplay. Other times, you might not get good soundtrack or gameplay, but you have an awesome story. So you're going to be a little bit more lenient with the other two, and sometimes you might listen to the tracks, and you'll be like, you know what, that's actually pretty catchy, I like that. And then other times you might play with the game, and you'll be like, you know what, I was kind of too harsh on the gameplay. This is actually pretty fun. I can understand why some people might hate it and all that, but when you focus on the gameplay with the story narrative, you'll be like, smart motherfuckers. I love that, though. I love when they can actually narrate the story with the gameplay. I love that. Not all games need to do that, obviously. Dragon Quest doesn't fucking really do that. At least, I think Dragon Quest 1 doesn't really do that. I think Dragon Quest 2 and 3 do that a little bit more than Dragon Quest 1. That's just me. The reason I say that is because you play as one character. And with that one character, maybe I am wrong about that too. Because the game designers, when they knew that they only had one character, they had to look at it and be like, well, we need to see how much that person will level up, what type of level he will get in this type of level, and this level, and this level, and this level. That sounds like a bitch. In my game, I was just like, yeah, you're going to have this and this and that. It's just easier to be like, yeah, you're going to have this in level 1, or you're going to have this in level 2, or you're going to have this in level 3. You know, it is easier just to do that because when you look at, because if you're all making a game and you're looking at the stuff that the player is going to use, you're going to be like, that is going to be in the beginning, that's going to be in the middle, and that's going to be in the end, because you just know by automatically. Even if you haven't even put the damage output, you just already know in your head, and you be like, that's going to be in the end, because you have a vision. You have a vision. Do these video game designers have a vision? Not video game designers, I'm sorry. Do these video game companies have a vision? Because all of these video game designers, they can make a good game. They can do it. They can do it. It's been proven that they can do it. But the companies that they work for don't want them to do it. They just want them to do the status quo. The status thing that they've been doing forever. And sometimes that's fine. You know, don't break don't fix what's broken, obviously. Square with a turn-based system. Don't fix what's not broken. Why are you making Final Fantasy action-based? Don't fix what's not broken, my bro. You can evolve it, but don't fix what's not broken. You know the gameplay style that you see in Final Fantasy X? People want that shit back so fucking bad. But you, Square Enix, are like, what? 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 Oh, we're going to have a Devil May Cry gameplay in Final Fantasy 16. The disrespect. And not also the disrespect. The fucking insulting my intelligence. That is more disrespectful to me than just not listening to me. Okay? You don't have to listen to me. But when you assault my intelligence, that's when I'd be like, go fuck yourself. You want me to buy this game so you could just make dough. Instead of actually making a game, they just want to tell a story. That's how I feel with my game. I just want to tell a story. I've been knowing the characters I put in my game. I've been knowing them since I was 14 and 15 years old. And they've been in my head for years to the point that they're like, I want to get out of here. Put me on paper. Put me on a game. I don't care where you put me. I need to get out of here. I want to say this right now. The guy that made Breaking Bad, how does he feel after he was done with Breaking Bad? He felt relieved. Because he was like, now I can let Walter rest. Now I can let Heisenberg rest. Because he's been in my head countless times and I'm tired of it. That's what he said. Look at the Minty video. The Minty Comedic Arts. He made a top 10 video about 10 things you didn't know about Breaking Bad. Highly recommend that YouTuber. I love his fucking channel. I love his fucking videos. Watch that video. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. 10 things you did not know about Breaking Bad by Minty Comedic Arts. Watch that video. If you watched it, then you don't have to watch it. I mean, if you want to watch it again, just to refresh your memory or just to watch it because you like Minty, go right ahead, you know. But I'm telling you guys, man, the passion that the people that made the Breaking Bad show had, because the director, the people that were making the show had characters in their head that they needed to let out. And by the way, back in the day, some of them went cuckoo because they didn't let that character out. Okay? And some people might say that, oh, that's just them. No, man. Sometimes when you're writing a character, you just need to put them on the paper. Why do you think we have good villains? Why do you think we have great Star Wars villains? Because the people that wrote them wanted to get those characters out of their head. I'm not saying they were bad people or anything like that. It's just that we all have that type of character and intentions of doing stuff bad in our head. Like, we have stuff like that in our heads. But we're not going to do it in real life. But if we put it on a piece of paper, or we put it on a video game or something, then it's cool. It's not like one of those things that's like, oh, I'm going to rape this person, I'm going to rape that person. No. At that point, someone's gonna look at that and be like, you need fucking help. or you need to be fucking arrested or something. Because you just admitted that you're gonna do this. You know? Seriously. You know, I doubt any game designer wants to put that in a video game and saying that, yep, it was proud of it and be like, yep, I did that. That was on me. The next day, he gets arrested and gets his kids taken away. Oh man, seriously. But these video game companies need to do better. If you video game companies do not want to die and don't want us to take your company away, then do something. Do something right. Okay? Some of you video game higher ups need to retire. Like I said before, the guy that created Mario, he needs to retire. Leave Nintendo, bro. And the thing is too, some of these freaking stupid executives and the people that made these video games that are not making them anymore because they became too big, some of them don't want to retire at all. But I'm over here like, you do realize if you retire, you make more money than what you have right now, right? Imagine the guy that created Mario sold all his assets to Nintendo. And he will make fucking hotcakes. He probably already did sold his assets to Nintendo. But imagine if he gave all of it. Maybe he has a little bit percentage of it. Because, I mean, he's still in the company. So imagine if he fully fledged retired and gave all of it to him. I mean, for crying out loud, the guy that voiced in Mario, he knew the writing on the wall. He was like, I'm not going to be here forever. So might as well, you know, retire the character, retire my voice as the character. And all of the stuff that I've been making will come to me. The guy that voiced in Mario over the years, you know how much money he has just by him retiring that voice? You know how rare that's going to be in the future when it comes to Mario 64? Oh, this has the original voice actor of Mario. That's going to be money. That's going to be fucking money like crazy. But no one's not thinking about this. Why? I understand money is not everything, but to these big corporations, it is. That's how they survive. Either we like it or not. You know, I would love these games to be free. I would love to be food for free. But as of right now, it's not. It will be soon. But as of right now, it's not. Alright? And some people are going to be like, well, how's anyone going to make a living? We're not going to make a living in the next Earth cycle. I hope you know that. We're going to go back to the old times. Like, trade, freaking plant food. Some of us are going to be manifesting food just by going like this, and a plant of a tree with fruits and vegetables can literally pop up. Yes, that's what we're heading that's what we're heading to the future, guys. Guys, you don't know that the planet's changing. The planet is not becoming a physical thing anymore. It's becoming a spiritual thing. Okay? They put this shit in your movies and video games, and you guys still don't fucking get it. It's sad. It's sad. For the people that love Star Wars to death like a religion, and I'm telling you this shit, and you think I'm crazy? No. You're stupid for not thinking that that's true. You believe in that Star Wars shit, which it is true. That Star Wars stuff that you believe, yes, it's true. It really did happen. Clone Wars, all of that shit, yes, it happened. In the 1800s. That's where we had a mud flood. You can look this shit up. You can completely disagree with me about the Clone Wars shit, even though they made a fucking movie about it. But you cannot deny me that there was a mud flood. That has been documented in all ancient societies, and especially here in America. Alright? Seriously. And people want to say that, oh, that comes from the Bible. No, what? You're stupid if you think it just comes from the Bible alone. Or you're ignorant. It doesn't just come from the Bible. What? It's in all civilizations. Every civilization around the world has literally told you that there was a flood here. And not just one flood, we have multiple floods. Okay? We're about to hit, this is our fourth ward heading to our fifth ward. Okay? So all of those wards that I mentioned, the fourth ward, all of those wards, we're in the fourth ward going into the fifth right now. So imagine what happened to those other three wards. They all got sank by water, fire, or mud. Okay? And now that's happening again, but 10 times worse. Why? It's because these bad people don't want to change. Especially these video game companies. When these bad people work in these video game companies and they don't want to change anything, guess what? It's karma. It's karma. It's karma. But it goes more deeper than that too. Like going back to what I said, the slaughter of colored people in the United States and then the corporation of the United States becoming that, you know, from the genocide of people, of us dying, you know. But again, I'm not getting too deep into that because you guys already know. You guys already know. If you're telling your college teachers this and they look at you like this, they know. They just don't want to tell you it because it doesn't work for them. They don't get paid to tell you that. And that's fucked up. These teachers that act like they like you and shit, they would never tell you who you are. Here's a good example. My homeroom teacher. I told my homeroom teacher that the Greek gods or the Egypt gods. And she looked at me like, why do you think she looked at me with those white eyes? She's a white woman. And she looked at me like this. She looked at me like, this motherfucker knows way too much. That's why all these teachers are being so nice to me in college. I'm over here like, You know how someone's way too nice and you're like, yeah, back off. So I'm just telling you my experience, guys. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you my experience. Okay? I want gaming to be great again, man. I want gaming to go back what it was back in the PS3 era. Even the beginning of the PS4 era, it was still kind of fun. It was in the beginning of the PS4 era. That type of high when the PS4 was out, that was pretty good. It was pretty fun. You know? Yes, there was some, hiccups, but overall, we still enjoyed it. We still loved it. We still loved turning our PlayStation 4 and seeing that, that theme, and then they'll come with different themes and all that. I remember plug in the PlayStation 1 theme, and then when you turn on the PS4, it goes like, do-do-do. You know how you turn on the PS1 and it has that sound? Oh, it came with the same sound every time you turn on the PS4 if you choose one of the PS1 themes. Oh, it was so good, so memorable. And that when I first saw that told me that, hey, Sony actually gives a fuck about their history. But somewhere along the line, around the PS4 era, they just stopped. And then they just decided to do remasters, remakes. And that's why I told my friend too, I'm like, the PS4 will only be remembered as a system with remakes and reboots. And he looked at me like, yeah. So what's the PS5 remembered for? Just having a few games for the system itself and having a library of other games from PS4, 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1? I mean, that's not bad. But again, I'm going back. Shouldn't the PS5 have memorable content of games by now? To the point that we're like, my God, you have to get this game. You have to get the PS5 to get this game. Remember back in the PS1 and 2 era? People were like, if you don't get this system, you're stupid. It was the same thing when it came to the Dreamcast and the Nintendo and the N64 and the Super Nintendo. if you didn't get these consoles, you were out of luck. Because everyone had them. Everybody had them back in the day. Now it's like, are you a PC gamer? Have you been a PC gamer today? And the thing is, PC gaming is not going to die. It's been around forever. It's not going to die. I hope you know that. It's never going to die. It's been around forever, and it's never going to die. And side note, don't some of these video game companies make their games on laptops? Not all of them, but I'm saying that aren't some of them all on computers and shit like that, and then you have to put it in a 2 engine, and some of them might use a 2 engine, like a PlayStation 2 engine, to see how the graphics were and all that stuff. But overall, don't you still need to put that in a computer before you put that inside the console itself? I could be wrong, but something tells me I could be in the right track. Maybe not 100% right, but somewhere along the lines I'm on the track somewhere, you know? So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. I know I went on a tangent here. This is a long fucking video. But I just need to discuss it because this company, or all these video game companies, they think they're trying, and they're not. They're not. There's a reason why we haven't heard anything about the Switch 2. What's the Switch 2 gonna look like? Does Nintendo even want to make a Switch 2? Because Nintendo knows what's the writing on the wall for their company and for the planet. So they're like, could we release another system? Because if we do, we're not gonna have it for that long, not even for 5 years. That's why it's so baffling. Automatically, Sony is like, oh, a PS5 Pro, and now there's rumors for a PS6. What? What? At least Nintendo and Microsoft are looking at the situation of the planet and the company themselves, and they're looking at the state of the world, and they're like, yeah, we don't have to make another system right now. We can put rumors out there, but we're not going to announce anything. Why should they? Why should they? I wouldn't. Especially if your system that you have now is raking in money like candy. You know? Especially Nintendo. If you're making a platform, if you made a system, and your system is selling like candy, and you're getting and people are buying games from there like candy, why would you shut it off? Why would you? Just to have an extra update of a system that people would just be like, I'm not going to transition into this if I can just play my regular games on my regular Switch. Because we already heard that the next Switch is going to be backwards compatibility, which is fine. But you mean to tell me that if the Switch that you have is making hotcake money, and also the games that you're selling are making hotcake money, why would you make another system? It makes no sense. You're gonna not bankrupt. You're gonna overlap yourself. You're competing with yourself, and you're not supposed to do that. And Nintendo knows that. Nintendo is like, yeah, we're not gonna release this system because it's not really dying off anytime soon. It's not. People still are buying the Switch, guys. That system's not dying anytime soon. It reminds me of the PSP and the PS2. They're not dying anytime soon. The PS4 is not dying anytime soon. And Sony wants the system wanted to die like 2 years ago. And at first, it seemed like it was dead. But then Sony kept fucking out with the fucking PS5 and fucking out with this other shit that people decided to migrate back to the PS4. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I would too. I could pick out all my library of PS4 games right now, and I guarantee you, I would barely hold it in my hands. But I guarantee you, PlayStation 5 games, I probably would be like this. This is all the PS5 games. Instead of PS4, when I could be like, this is all the games I have. You know? Which one sounds better? Oh, this is all the PS5 games I have. Look at all the PS5 games I have. Which one's better? Which one is better? And I guarantee you, the PS5, literally, this is the library of the PS5. I guarantee you it's like this. Just these games. I mean, these are Switch games. But I guarantee you, the PS5 games, their library is probably this. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just probably 7. And how long has the system has been out? This system is about to be 4 or 5 years old. The PS5 is about to be 4 or 5 years old. And you're already talking about PS6. Guys, man, I'm telling you, man. Like, it's almost like this. Tell me video game companies that you're freaking out without telling me that you're freaking out. Tell me video game companies that the world is changing and you're freaking the fuck out without telling me that the world is changing and you're freaking the fuck out. Because that's what you're showing me. And if you don't see that, guys, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But you do need to realize that this is happening. Whether you believe it or not. When you want to accept it or not. It's going to hit you in the face. It is. For the people that don't want to accept it, it's going to hit you so hard in the face. Trust me. It happened to me. To the point I'm like, oh my fucking head. Trust me, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Because it's karma. The reason I say it's karma is because we haven't learned. You need to learn from the bullshit from these companies. And if you don't learn, guess what? You're going to get smacked in the face over and over and over again. You're going to get spit in the face by these companies. Look, no one in Japan bought Final Fantasy 7, bought Final Fantasy 16. But people in America, they were like, spit on me, Sqawn. Right in the teeth. Thank you. Sqawn, your spit tastes so good. I can't believe I did that. That's disgusting. That's fucking disgusting, man. You will literally look at Square Enix and be like, yes, give me another. Love your spit, Sqawn. Oh, God, that's disgusting. That's fucking disgusting. Half of these men don't fucking brush their teeth. No. Oh my God, that's racist. I'll see you guys later, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that the gaming industry is completely dead? Or do you think the gaming industry is in a stagnant, but that it's almost like with Disney. They're in a stagnant right now, but with that stagnance comes creativity. Because eventually these companies are going to be like, we need new fresh eyes. We need new people. That's how it was back in the PS1 era. During the PS1 era, they were like, we need new fresh eyes, new takes and everything like that. Obviously, it was a new system, so that's why they needed that. But even back in the day with Nintendo and Sega, they were like, we need new fresh eyes, we need new fresh talent to bring some of this stuff because there's competition now. And we need to compete. And healthy competition is good competition. Seriously, I want all of these companies to succeed and have a good, healthy relationship of competitions. You know? I remember one time when Sony and Nintendo were competing, and at first it was like, oh my God, you know, they hate each other. But then over time they were like, oh, we got you too, you know? It was like they were having fun with each other, you know? It's like, oh, I missed that shit. I missed that shit. You know, even Nintendo did that with Sega at one point. They used to butt heads, but then over time they were like, ah, you did that. Oh, we did that too. Oh, you got it. You know, before Nintendo and Sega were like really best friends. Now they're like this. But back in the day, they were butting heads. Then they were like, oh, you did that. Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, you're cute. We're gonna do this. Oh, you're cute. You know, like that. You know, some people would have thought that it was like, you know, something bad. Like, oh my god, they probably really hate each other. But then when you look at it in a different viewpoint, and especially when you look at it at the whole viewpoint of everything, you're looking at it and you're like, oh, they're just having fun with each other. Because good competition is healthy competition. You know, like you're going to make a game that competes with me. I'm going to make a game that competes with you. You know, and if both games are great, we both make money. Why is that a bad thing? You know? For crying out loud, look at Final Fantasy VII and look at Mario 64. Both completely different fucking games. Came in two different systems, but made so much fucking money. To the point that it's ridiculous. Alright? I think Final Fantasy VII made more money than Mario 64. I could be gone. Or maybe they made the same amount. Either way, they still made a lot. Doesn't matter if Final Fantasy VII made a little bit, then Mario 64, or Mario 64 made a little bit, then Final Fantasy VII. Still did not matter. They made so much money and became the landmark of a lot of games that we see today. You know? Ever since Final Fantasy VII, everyone wanted to have a big giant sword in their game. Can't blame them. It's fucking badass. You know? So, but I like the gunblade better. You just like move around, press the fucking trigger, and then so good. There's a reason why they bought that in Final Fantasy 13 because it's beautiful. Like, which one you want to have? A gunblade or big giant sword? That it's not really a gunblade, but it's still pretty cool. So it's up to you guys. Different gamers play different things. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe. Enjoy gaming. Enjoy what you guys do. If you are making a game too, either it's on RPG Maker or any other platform, have fun with it. If you're having fun with your game, that is how you know it's good. If you're having a great time reading your story and you're like, ooh, especially in your head, that's how you know it's good. Especially like, I remember looking at the script of like of the main villains dissing the heroes, and I'm over here like, ooh, shots fired. You don't see this in a lot of fucking RPG games. Just the villains being like fucking, you know, just putting shit out on the main characters, and the main characters are like, they're like, me? Like this? And the villains are like, yeah. And then and then you always hear in the background, you'd be like, you know what? The villain gets the point. I love shit like that. You know, I love when you can see the hero's perspective and the villain's perspective. Oh, I love games like that. Because at the end of the day, it just shows that it doesn't matter if you're good or evil. It's just what happened to you. What went through your life to make you to that person that we see today. You know? So it wasn't a tragedy. Was it just a bad day? Or it was just because you're a piece of shit. Which one is it? You know, it can't be in between those three. It has to be one of those three. So, I'll see you guys. And take care of yourselves. Seriously. And I know this video is long, but tell me what you guys think down below. And again, disagree or agreed. And just tell me what you guys think down below of my thoughts and my opinions of this whole gaming industry stuff. And a lot of stuff that's happening around us. To this planet and everything like that. Guys, have you been paying attention to your sky? It's becoming more purple every day. Okay? You should look at your chakras. Because the highest level of chakra is purple. Just saying.